Yo guys, what is going on? Alex Pandrea here and welcome to the Bertram change. Now the Bertram change is a very visual color change, and in today's video we're going to learn step by step not only how to perform it, but how to make it as visual as possible. And then we're going to take the techniques learned in this video and learn how we can apply them to our own card magic. So stay tuned for all of that and more, starting right now. Now you'll notice that with this color change, because it's broken down into individual steps, each step, the palm, the change itself, the sort of replacement, and handling the double afterwards, you can use by themselves. So you don't have to use them all together. Of course, you can use them together in this change, but each one of these sleights or different techniques you could use by themselves. So the first step is going to be learning how to palm off the card and get it in position for the change. Now the palm card is going to go into a tenkai palm like this. So let's just learn this really quick, really fast. Tenkai palm, if you don't know it already, card is placed in this position, the thumb is keeping it palmed like this, and from this side you can't see anything, right? Thumb is obviously missing, but that's going to be hidden by the motion of the hand. And then on this side, you're going to have the card just like this, okay? So grab a card, put it in just like this, so it's sort of perpendicular with your hand. You're going to grab it with the thumb, and you're just going to keep it like this, and try to keep a natural grip with the hand. And you're going to notice that you're going to be able to adjust the grip from when you steal out the card. So it's going to make sense in a second of where exactly the grip is, but just as the palm in general, it's this, here, and this. Okay, so just get used to this. It'll only take a few minutes, and you should be good to go with the actual palm. And now the steal itself, to steal out the card, this is what's going to happen. You're going to get a double. Okay, so that's two cards as one, and the two cards as one are going to be aligned, and you can pick this up from the deck. Okay, place it in your hand and just sort of have it in the position where it's face up. All right, a few quick ways to do this is if you were going to do a double lift, you grab the double like this and you extend it out. All right, not that it's flush on the deck. You want to extend it out because you want to be able to grab the two cards very nice and firmly with the right hand so that they don't split, because if you have them like this, then you might try to pick it up and then you have to readjust. That's never good. So you want to be able to just grab it right away, firmly, and then place it into the position that it needs to be, all right? So that's one way to do it. So it's not really horizontal in your hand, it is actually vertical. So from a vertical position, this is where you're going to do the steal from, all right? And that's how it's going to look. And the steal is as follows. Have the cards just like this. Fingering position is thumb, first finger, and middle finger are going to grab the card just like this. And then from here, your right hand is going to come and grab this side of the card. Now what's going to happen is the thumb is going to push the top card towards outwards. All right, so it's going to push it outwards. And at the same time, these fingers underneath are going to pull the bottom card towards you. All right, so that's going to look like this. You're going to grab the card. First finger is kind of on the corner over here. Thumb is going to push. These fingers are going to pull, and you're going to get this. So push and pull so they separate. Once this is separated, you're going to grab the top card with the left hand as you continue to move your hand away. All right, and now you're not pulling anymore with any of the fingers. You're just pulling just enough to separate it about this much. And now you're pulling the hand away, and it's sort of pivoting this way on this corner. So the right hand, the first finger is here. It's pivoting around, and the elbow is making. So you can't see the elbow here, but the elbow is coming around this way. And this is a one center point, and the elbow is coming around just like this. And now you're almost in the position where these are making a sort of a half T shape, all right? From here to here. Now you know that once it's in this position, you can come away with the cards. And if I take away my left hand, you can see right here, all I have to do, my thumb is already in the position, I just put pressure on here. If I put pressure on here and I extend out my fingers, guess what? Now we are in the tenkai palm. All right, so one thing after another, and everything is fluent and flawlessly put together so that you don't have to readjust your fingers for every single step. So you're here, pull, push with the finger, and this is going to create the separation. Grab tightly with the left hand, rotate around. You're going to rotate around so that until, so here's one thing that I did, and it's a good thing that I made this mistake so I can show you. I didn't twist it enough with the fingers. I didn't pivot it around enough. You see, it's not that T shape that we talked about. And now here I'm going to have trouble grabbing this and then palming it. It's going to be too much of a motion. So what I want to do is just make sure I really get that T shape before I come away with the card, so that my thumb is here and I could easily palm off the card. And you're going to want to do this in one motion, all right? So here, show the card. You can get in position as you show it, and now you're going to extend, pull, push, get it into the T position, come away, and you're ready with the palm. Now this could come down for a second, show this card. Now you're going to come back with the hand and you're going to get ready to do the magical change. So after you've gotten the palm down, we can go into the actual change, which is really the replacement of one card on top of the other, which looks like this from the back. From here, you're going to align everything together in this motion as if your hand is passing over it, and while it's passing over it, it is squaring up the alignment at the same time. So you're using the cover, or sort of the wave, the magic moment, as a way of squaring up the cards, because you need to square up the cards, right? So from the palm, you have the card just like this, and the left hand card is going to be placed in this position, okay? So thumb on the index bottom left corner when you're holding it this way, and the first and second finger are going to be on the back. And you're going to get used to this position, because this position is what is going to be used after the change to hold the two cards in place, okay? So really get these three fingering position down and be able to squeeze with the middle. Just have enough room in between, so the thumb is in between these two fingers to be able to squeeze, all right? And that's going to be important later on. So from here, you're going to come with the right hand, and now the two pips are going to meet, all right? Now you'll notice that because if you want to align the pips, this thumb is in the way. Well, this is exactly what's going to happen. You're going to come inside. You're going to feed this card in between the thumb and the other card. So you're going to come in just like this and come in right in between. Boom. All right, so now if you let go of your right hand, this is what you're going to have. You're going to be able to hold both cards with the left hand. All right. Now this is going to create a pivot point, because this is what's going to happen. From here, the card is going to pivot counterclockwise until it lines up with the first card, and it's going to make the change. So from here, just be sure. So I would do this. I would come in, and so I know how far or how little I have to come in, stop, take your hand away, and I'll pivot. See, if I pivot here and it's not pushed in all the way, you're not going to get the square up action on the left hand side. If it is too far, then you're going to get it sticking out over here. Okay, if it's too on the bottom, then it's not going to square up on top, so on and so forth. So you really want to practice this first step of when you push it in, so you know the exact sort of pressure that you have to feel before you go into the change, okay? Now, it's also going to help because the right hand's going to align it, so it doesn't have to be, you know, to the millimeter precise, but just get a good understanding of it, all right? So from here, you're going to slip it in. Now, your right hand's fingers are going to be out, extended out, okay? And this is going to be covering, for the most part, this entire card. So from the front, you won't be able to see this card because my right fingers are covering it, all right? Here, notice my right fingers are sticking out, covering the card. And now what's going to happen is you are going to use the thumb of the right hand to start pushing in the card and aligning it counterclockwise, pivoting it on these three fingers, this pressure point right here, pivoting it this way, and your thumb is doing all the motion, okay? You don't want to do anything with the other fingers just yet. You just want your thumb to come here, and as you're moving forward, your thumb aligns it. Now, notice one thing. If I just take away my right hand here, and if you could get a closer look, this is not aligned, this is not aligned, this is not aligned, just a little bit, but that's fine because this is where the right hand is going to come in. And the right hand's job is to square everything up at the end and now move from the left to the right, squaring everything up even more. All right? And this is what's going to get the action because right now the card's still covered. So even if it's a little bit This way, it's fine. But now, when I come here and I can help with this finger as well to put pressure, keeping those two together, I'm going to squeeze and then align it along this side. And then if needed, you can align it along this side as well. All right. And this is all under the guise of doing the change. All right. So if we take this card out and we were just going to do the motion, that's what it should look like. Okay. Like you're waving over this and boom, it changes. And notice how the squaring action goes with the motion of the change. Okay. So once you're here, you do this, it's not squared up, you square it up, you squeeze with the left hand, you squeeze with the right hand, and then if needed, come out here. And now when you let go, you can actually show that the card has changed, and you're left in a very nice position where you're pretty open with the hands, right? So you can show the card just like that. You can take it, put it on the deck, or you can handle the double from here on out, which is the third step that we're going to get into. Okay, before we move on, I want to thank Skillshare for sponsoring this video. Skillshare is a place for you to learn from industry leaders where they share their highly owned skills, experience, and expertise. From my experience, there is no better way than to learn from experts who have developed their skills over many years, basically learning from the pros themselves. Now, as you may know, having a career in magic doesn't end with just learning the sleight or learning just to perform tricks. There is a whole other aspect of learning that you'll need to master, like photography, videography, business. The list goes on if you want to set yourself apart in the magic industry or in anything else that you do, really. I've really enjoyed courses on public speaking and storytelling, for example, which combined with the sleights and tricks that we are learning here on this channel will only make you a better performer. Trust me, start learning as much as you can about different topics to have your chances of success as high as possible. The more you learn, the more you will grow. So go get signed up now with my link and start your path to being the best at whatever you want to be. I'm going to give the first 1,000 people to sign up 1 free month of premium Skillshare. Thank you to Skillshare for sponsoring this video, and let's get back into it. Okay, the next step is going to be handling the double after the change. Now, I'll be honest with you. Sometimes you do this change, the audience is going to be so shocked that they're going to scream and cry and run away. And once they run away, it's a very easy thing to just come out here and look. I didn't even put the double on right. Doesn't matter. They're already far gone. And but if you don't get that reaction for whatever reason, you're going to need to know how to handle the double after the change. Now, here's one thing that we can take advantage of. Your hand is going to be in this position after the second sort of square up action on the right hand side. You could use that to your advantage to grip the card between the middle finger, the first finger, and the thumb, and you're going to grab this card out just like this, putting pressure now as you twist with the thumb of the right hand in between. So now this is sort of the same thing that we did in the left hand, but now it's in reverse on the right hand side, and now you're showing the card with the face out towards the audience, all right? So you're putting pressure with the thumb in between to keep these two cards aligned, all right? So after the change is done, you're here, grab, and 1, 2, 3 pressure points and show the card. After this, you can come ahead and extend your left hand and place the card into your left hand, squeezing with the fingers. And now one thing that I like to do is squeeze with the fingers so that we know that they're tight and open up the hand. So now you're left in this very nice position where you can actually show the cards, or rather the card, to the spectator. And it really does feel like one card, okay? So here, boom, I show the card. I extend out this hand so that you can see nothing is here, and I just give it a little squeeze, and then I could open it. Now, a little bonus for you is that you could actually do the change with the deck in your hands. Now, you're going to have to do a little bit of readjustment, but it's still possible. And what's nice about this is that you can show the cards afterwards and then really just replace it back on the deck. And instead of trying to handle the double and then place it back on the deck, you have to pick up the deck and do all this stuff. So it works like this. You're going to do a double and make sure that you're able to grab the double nicely, just like we talked about, without any readjustments, and kind of show the card as you readjust the deck in your hand. Now, the deck is going to be pushed back with the first finger like this so that you have all these fingers free to grab the card. All right. So from here, you're going to do the exact same thing, but the deck is in your hand. Okay, and that's just a matter of readjusting it, all right? It's a little homework assignment for you. I won't go into great detail with it because it's just a matter of readjusting. And then you could do the exact same thing. Steal it off, do this, and now from here, just place it back on top. So there you go, a little bonus for the Bertram change. All right, let's talk about the 3 things that we learned here today and apply them to other aspects of card magic. So obviously the palm could be used as a palm, right? But it could also be used in the context of this color change to steal out the bottom card after the change and give out the single card to the spectator, right? So you could have a cleanup using the palm, taking it a step further. And of course you could use the palm just as a palm. Now another way to think about it, instead of 2 cards, what if you were doing it off the bottom of the deck? So having the whole deck there and using the same sort of twisting technique to steal off the card from the bottom. Well, now you're tenkaiing the card from the bottom of the deck, and now it becomes a whole different thing. The second thing is the replacement. Now the replacement, let's think about it like this. Instead of doing it face up as a visual change, what if we did it face down, more of a replacement, right? So you can do this as a non-visual color change too. Show the card, steal off, if everything is reversed, face down, show the card, steal the card off, and now replace it on top. And now it's a non-visual color change, basically switching the 2 cards, okay? So you can use that for different things. And the last thing is, how do we handle a double? And this is something that you should know with all aspects of card magic, is how to handle a double without the deck. This is very, very important because you don't want to be holding on a death grip on the card when you could be more relaxed. And it just takes a little bit of practice, feeling it in your hand, seeing where it lays, seeing where it splits, and then adjusting from there on out. So now we can take this sort of thinking and apply it to other things that we do. Okay, well this particular move is broken up into, 4 different steps. Can I use these in different aspects of my card magic? And the answer is yes, of course, and this is where your creativity comes in. And I'm sure you'll have a lot of fun exploring your own sleights and coming up with new ones based off of this. If you want to take your card magic further, I have a whole card magic course which ends up being more than 50 hours of content, 80 plus videos, over 100 sleights and routines and tricks and everything that you want taught in it. The link to that is down below, and now you can actually sign up with monthly installments so you don't have to pay everything at once. Thank you to Skillshare once again for sponsoring this video, and thank you for watching and learning this with me. If you enjoyed it, you know what to do. Hit the like button, subscribe, and we will see you on the next video.